So, hello guys. It is a very windy day. Sorry if that's picking up on the camera here. We've got that cold front coming through, and the winds are just whipping through. We always have that issue because across the road from us there is just open pasture, so the winds really come through. But anyway, I thought I'd do a nice update on the nitrogen fixing corn here for you. This is our second season growing this. And I mean, besides all the damage, you can see there's quite a bit of damage from the army worms. And if I did not spray this corn with BT, it would not be here. It would have been absolutely decimated by the army worms. So that's a major issue growing corn here in Florida and in the South. But other than that, it's doing fairly well. And I can tell by looking at it, it is getting ready, just by the way it's growing here. It's getting ready to tassel. Um, so it does appear to be day length sensitive. And that's a kind of a double-edged sword. It means you can plant it later in the year, so you're not having absolutely massive plants, because where this corn is native, South America, Mexico, they're known to get 10, 12, 15, even 20 feet tall. And that's because they're light sensitive, so they're not tasseling and cobbing, as that was called, earring, I don't know, when they send out the ears, until the appropriate time for whatever it happens to be, long day, short day, whatever they are. And that's why they get so large. We can use that to our advantage here, plant it later in the year and have smaller plants. But regardless, if it's warm enough to grow, we've got bug issues. But anyway, in this update, I wanted to actually talk about the actual nitrogen fixing properties. And normally, if you do your research, the corn would grow aerial roots off the stem, and that is where it is going to produce a gel that harbors nitrogen fixing bacteria, and the corn utilizes that to grow. Okay. Now, two observations from growing this corn. Because I am planting it so late in the year and taking advantage of less pest pressure, because the army worms and pests this time of year are starting to go dormant for winter. And because I don't want massive corn, so, I'm kind of trying to utilize that. But one of the things I've noticed is, because the corn is not growing for as long, does not have as long of a season, it is not really producing aerial roots. Okay. And obviously, from do the research, that is where, again, that gel and the bacteria are coming in. But again, I have noticed something. Even though they're not producing the aerial roots, this corn, guys, it's hard to tell. This is about 4 feet tall. Okay, this corn is 4 feet tall. I planted it the middle of August. Okay, so it's about, well, I don't even know what today is. It's October something, beginning of October. So it's been about a month and a half. It's about 4 feet tall, and it is an extremely horrible soil, guys. This is the soil this stuff is in. Okay, it's pure sand. I did not amend this sand. I did not put any compost, any manure. They were not mulched. And I have not even had chickens or ducks or anything run through here for 2 seasons. There was nothing here this year, and there was nothing here last year. So this is pretty poor ground this corn is in, but it's still 4 feet tall. And sans, the armyworm damage, you remove the armyworm damage from it, this corn is looking really, really good. Um, it's actually looking phenomenal for for being in this ground. Look at this one, barely got any armyworm damage. Look at the leaves on this. This corn's happy. It's got nice dark green leaves. It's growing. Again, it's about 4 feet tall. And it's in absolutely horrible soil. So I do think that even without the aerial roots providing a source of nitrogen, oh, there's an armyworm down in there. I have to find it's a big one too. But without the aerial roots, I think the standard I don't know what the term is, guys. Underground roots. What are the underground roots called? the underground roots, we'll call them. I think it's likely that they are still able to harbor the nitrogen fixing bacteria as well. Because this variety is yellow, by the way. This is a yellow reddish variety, and this one's out of centralish Mexico. I've also got at another bed, maybe I'll go take a quick video of that, a white variety that is out of South America instead of Mexico, and that is doing phenomenal as well. And it is also in very poor soil. And then I've also got a blue-black variety growing, and again, same soil, but doing very well. So they're in 3 different growing areas on my properties, and all of them in very horrible locations, but they're all 3-4 feet tall. So maybe they don't need the aerial roots to take advantage of the nitrogen fixing bacteria. Maybe that is also on their underground roots. So I don't know. Once the plants are done tasseling and everything, and hopefully we'll get a crop of seed off these, I'm very hopeful. I'm going to really keep an eye on the roots, check the roots out. Last year, I started these in trays and planted them out, and then we got hit by a hurricane, and we were really flooded. The corn was a quarter this size and nowhere near as thick, and that's where we got the seed from. We managed to get a few seeds, a couple hundred seeds off of those plants. But other than that, it was a complete loss with the flooding. The corn, we actually saved it when it was still in the milk stage. And fortunately, corn, we were able to try it and it sprouted. And 100 times better this year. 100 times better. If you go back and look at that video from last year, you can really see the difference. So, yeah, interesting, guys. This corn is very, very interesting. And if we are able to grow it on very poor nitrogen, even nutrient deficient sand, soil, and that's amazing. Okay, right off the bat, that is amazing. Even if we do have to apply, BT to it, which BT is not really toxic to humans, guys. I mean, it washes off, especially if you're just using it topically and not genetically modifying your corn. So that makes a big difference. And I'll admit I have not been up on it. That's why the armyworms have really had a go at this. But and there's even armyworms in there now. But yeah, this video is long enough. But very likely that the nitrogen fixing abilities of this corn goes down into the actual roots and not just the aerial stabilization roots that, if this corn had a longer season, would grow up the stalk and do that. So if it does well this year and we get a good crop off this, I'm probably going to plant some out earlier next season, and we're going to do a longer growing season on it and see how it does. Because both years we've grown this, we've done it very late in the season, August going to September. So right there, the days are already starting to get shorter. And yeah, the bug pressure doesn't change, but that growing time frame could be a huge factor in, you know, its ability to thrive even more or less. We'll see. But so far, I'm very happy. We're actually cooling off quite a bit. We were only in the mid 60s this morning, and the corn actually is really liking the cool weather. I know people think of corn as a summer crop that likes it hot, but corn actually does better with it cooler, guys. That's another thing that makes it so hard to grow corn in the south here is corn doesn't like, 100-degree weather with 100% humidity and rain every single day and army worms eating every inch of it. It really does like it between probably about 75 to 85. And with the past few days being a lot cooler, this is actually looking amazing. So, hopeful, guys. I'll do some more updates on it. This video was a bit long, but uh, just the potential for this corn is off the charts. So, hopefully, you listen to this, and I'm doing the work, guys, for you, trialing it out and seeing what we can find out about this corn and go from there. Yeah. So, yes, yes, yes. It's definitely getting ready. Yeah, it'll probably put on another few feet by the time this does tassel. You can see the whorls are getting tight there. It doesn't have long before we get tassel coming out there. The corn will probably be about 6 feet, 7 feet tall as it is. So, interesting. But this is what we got to do to feed ourselves, guys, and empower the world and ensure that we have the freedom and the ability to keep fighting for that freedom. Gotta grow food, guys. Gotta grow amazing, nutritious, super delicious, easy crops. And hopefully, while this corn has been anything but easy, the potential is there for it to be extremely beneficial to grow in areas where you normally wouldn't be able to get much out of. So it's definitely worth the work, or I wouldn't be doing it. And we will see. After this crop here, I have high hopes that we could be doing pretty good with it. And I don't have much genetic diversity, unfortunately, even though it was growing fairly well. My white variety I put in this year, I had about 200 seed that I got, and we only got about 20 plants that came up. My various blue-black varieties that I had really bombed. I had some from a few different regions, and only one's doing really well. So we'll see. If we do manage to get a good crop off these, and we don't have too much inbreeding depression, which doesn't look like we do, we may end up crossing the blue, the black, and the white, and just seeing what we get out of there. But for now, just sussing it out and seeing how it does. But we will definitely have some flowering within the next couple weeks. It's not ready yet. I don't see any ears forming, but we do have the plants getting ready to tassel there. So we will see. Hey guys, go if you stuck around this long. Thank you, and grow food, guys. And I will make more updates on this corn. Probably the next one I'll wait until we start seeing some tassels or something on here and see how it goes. I haven't sprayed it in a couple weeks, and there's a few army worms in here, so I might have to go through and crush them or spray again. But there's a few plants that aren't really touched, thankfully. We'll see how that goes. Interesting. There's crazy things in this world, guys. Crazy, crazy plants. It's so much. It's amazing, really. Really awesome. See you later. Love you. Grow food. And it's not easy to get nitrogen fixing corn seed. I actually had to sign up for these seeds through a seed bank, and I actually had to write a letter of intent on why I wanted them and what I was going to do with them, and I had to pay for them after all of that. And for the 3, 4, 5 varieties that I got from different locations, I got a red one, a white variety, and 3 blue-black varieties. Um, this is the yellow-red. The white is doing fairly well. I've got one of the blue-black that's doing well. The other 2 blue-black I've lost completely. The plants just did not do well. They could not handle the heat at all. You could tell they were much cooler, and they were out of South America, and they wanted it much, much cooler to grow, and they could not handle the end of August heat, the beginning of September heat, and they just yellowed no matter what. Where these, the 3 I have left, the yellow, the white, and the blue-black from all different regions, are doing extremely well. Besides the bug damage, of course, but interesting. But yes, I paid quite a bit for very little seed, and it worked out to like $6 a freaking kernel I paid, guys. No joking. Not even joking, okay? I paid like $6 a freaking seed for this stuff. So, for anybody that's still listening and wondering why, I hate having to do it for money, but if you guys can support me and buy stuff or whatever, it's not cheap doing this, and trying to, empower people to grow food. It takes money, and whew, and I am not a big corporation. Heck, I'm not even a small corporation. I'm like a little tiny nobody, and it costs money, guys, to get some of these crops, and it takes the time too. Trust me, but hopefully it's worth it. Maybe I should, spray these a little more and take care of them, but I don't want to baby them too much because, they need to be able to survive on their own, or it's not worth it at all. So we'll go from there. I wish corn was more like sorghum. Yeah, but enough yakking.